macro, it looks like we are now in correction mode here. Look at QQQ. You got to worry about, well, did we get to this gap fill up here? Let's see where that is. 506.41. We're below that level. So now you got to worry about this level right here, which by the time it gets there, maybe it might coincide with 20 DMA. SPY looks very similar. So SPY and QQQ basically mirroring each other with those levels to look at. And IWM, below this level right here, very important, 232, could make it back to that 227 breakout or so, 228 breakout or so. Trump coming in and really doing, again, kind of what was expected, saying he's not going to do that EV credit, $7,500 EV credit. People who understand the politics of this knew that that was going to happen, okay? This is not really a surprise, and I don't think any of the bulls, including Dan Ives, and there's some other commentary out there saying this was kind of expected, and it doesn't change our thinking. It doesn't change my thinking in terms of new all-time highs, because guess what? Full self-drive, FSD, when that happens, the benefit of that is going to way overcome. We're talking about like 95% profit margins. I don't know what they're going to charge, $100 a month, maybe more. I'm not sure. But, getting that approved from a regulatory perspective is going to be a boon for Tesla, not to mention all their other projects and the robo-taxi and things like that. Guys, listen, I'm getting validation on social media. From the likes of Dan Ives, Jim Cramer, who is not a good indicator, but when you have Dan Ives and Jim Cramer agreeing, basically saying everything I was saying in the morning show, we're talking about $926 billion company. Dan Ives is like, this is a $1.5 billion company. Automation is going to be fast-tracked in terms of federal regulations and stuff. Take a look at this. I'm looking at, let's pull back to the weekly chart. If you go to the daily, you're like, oh, it's so scary. You got a gap here. Oh my God. Right. Okay. Well, you can look, first of all, even on the daily, we're so close to that 299. It's going to test it soon. And then right after that, this is the magnet right there at 314.67. So your target's 300 to 314, 300 to 315, let's call it. But if you don't want to be scared of the gap, pull up a weekly chart, okay? When you put up a weekly chart, just look at this and think about how important this catalyst is. This is an inflection catalyst. This means this is a catalyst when 5 years from now, you look back at the stock and you look at the chart, you can identify a point in time, right? How important is it that Trump is elected and Elon Musk is at his side and basically put him in office, right? How important is that to the company? Obviously, it's hugely important. How big should that candle be? How big should that inflection be when you look back in this chart in time from the future, right? And when you look at the weekly chart, hey, we haven't even gotten started. This 15% move is nothing. It's a blip. You haven't even missed it yet. So when can we see this like really peak out? Or I don't want to say peak out, but when is this thing going to capitulate to the upside, at least temporarily? Guess when that's going to be? I think it's pretty clear. January 20th. There's going to be a lot of hype building into that. Most of the run's probably going to happen well before that. November, December. Maybe you see this thing have that capitulation high, towards Inauguration Day, right after Inauguration. Everything's going to be baked in by then. So again, look at these weekly candles. How big should these weekly candles be to represent this monumental thing that's really going to impact fundamentals for Tesla? I mean, look, this 299 to 315, that's like very short term. That could be tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow or Friday or Monday, might very well be tomorrow, 300 to 315. If you want to talk about a game-changing inflection for the company, you got to think this thing has got to be maybe somewhere between 380 and the all-time high by Inauguration Day. All right? Or at least 360 to 415 by Inauguration Day. That's my target. This is the opportunity. That's the analysis. Trump coming in and really doing, again, kind of what was expected, saying he's not going to do that EV credit, $7,500 EV credit. People who understand the politics of this knew that that was going to happen, okay? This is not really a surprise, and I don't think any of the bulls, including Dan Ives, and there's some other commentary out there saying this was kind of expected, and it doesn't change our thinking. It doesn't change my thinking in terms of new all-time highs, because guess what? Full self-drive, FSD, when that happens, the benefit of that is going to way overcome. We're talking about like 95% profit margins. I don't know what they're going to charge, $100 a month, maybe more. I'm not sure. But, getting that approved from a regulatory perspective is going to be a boon for Tesla, not to mention all the other projects in the robo-taxi and things like that. Look at the macro. It looks like we are now in correction mode here. Look at QQQ. You got to worry about, well, did we get to this gap fill up here? Let's see where that is. 506.41. We're below that level. So now you got to worry about this level right here, which by the time it gets there, maybe it might coincide with 20 DMA. SPY looks very similar. So SPY and QQQ basically mirroring each other with those levels to look at. And IWM, below this level right here, very important, 232, could make it back to that 227 breakout or so, 228 breakout or so. ASTS is something we started picking up yesterday. I'm going to make this a top pick. Don't know yet if it's going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see. But ASTS, when you have this is just a whole bunch of pillars coming together. What's a pillar? It's story trading. We have catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals, right? We have a lot of things converging on ASTS today specifically, which I think makes this a good thing. This sell-off here was because of the Trump win, because people thinking, all right, that benefits Starlink, and that's not going to be good for the competitor ASTS. Now that we're getting this correction in the Trump names, now the names that were hurt because of the Trump trades can come back, all right? So that's like money flow sentiment kind of reversing with earnings Thursday afternoon. We talked about the fundamentals. I believe it wasn't on the public show. It was in our Discord yesterday. So I'm looking for continuation after this open green candle yesterday. RSI still oversold here on the daily. So let's see. There's I don't know how far we can get today, but I think before the earnings report, there's a chance we get to like 27, maybe even up to 29 before Thursday afternoon. That's in the cards. ASTS, definitely a top pick today with this kind of Trump trade reversal, a little bit of reversion to the mean going to be happening today, it looks like. I ended up swinging in the entire call position I got in multiple accounts. You see we're up here, up 6%. Sometimes you got to know when to swing something on one of our top picks. So I did swing. We got ASTS still, I think even with a gap here of 7%, I'm still looking for a move to 27 to 29 before earnings tomorrow afternoon. Guys, listen, I'm getting validation on social media. From the likes of Dan Ives, Jim Cramer, who is not a good indicator, but when you have Dan Ives and Jim Cramer agreeing, basically saying everything I was saying from the morning show. We're talking about $926 billion company. Dan Ives is like, this is a $1.5 billion company. Automation is going to be fast-tracked in terms of federal regulations and stuff. Take a look at this. I'm looking at, let's pull back to the weekly chart. If you go to the daily, you're like, oh, it's so scary. You got a gap here. Oh my God, right? Okay, well, you can look, first of all, even on the daily, we're so close to that 299. It's going to test it soon. And then right after that, this is the magnet right there at 314.67. So your target's 300 to 314, 300 to 315, let's call it. But if you don't want to be scared of the gap, pull up a weekly chart, okay? When you put up a weekly chart, just look at this and imagine, think about how important this catalyst is. This is an inflection catalyst. This means this is a catalyst when you know, 5 years from now, you look back at the stock and you look at the chart, you can identify a point in time, right? How important is it that Trump is elected and Elon Musk is at his side and basically put him in office, right? How important is that to the company? Obviously, it's hugely important. How big should that candle be? How big should that inflection be when you look back in this chart in time from the future, right? And when you look at the weekly chart, hey, we haven't even gotten started. This 15% move is nothing. It's a blip. You haven't even missed it yet. So when can we see this like really peak out? Or I don't want to say peak out, but when is this thing going to capitulate to the upside, at least temporarily? Guess when that's going to be? I think it's pretty clear. January 20th. There's going to be a lot of hype building into that. Most of the run's probably going to happen well before that. November, December. Maybe you see this thing have that capitulation high, you know, towards inauguration day, right after inauguration. Everything's going to be baked in by then. So again, look at these weekly candles. How big should these weekly candles be to represent this monumental thing that's really going to impact fundamentals for Tesla? I mean, look, this 299 to 315, that's like very short term. That could be tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow or Friday or Monday, might very well be tomorrow, 300 to 315. If you want to talk about a game-changing inflection for the company, you got to think this thing has got to be maybe somewhere between 380 and the all-time high by inauguration day, all right? Or at least 360 to 415 by inauguration day. That's my target. This is the opportunity. That's the analysis. Trump coming in and really doing, again, kind of what was expected, saying he's not going to do that EV credit, $7,500 EV credit. People who understand the politics of this knew that was going to happen, okay? This is not really a surprise, and I don't think any of the bulls, including Dan Ives, and there's some other commentary out there saying this was kind of expected, and it doesn't change our thinking. It doesn't change my thinking in terms of new all-time highs, because guess what? Full self-drive, FSD, when that happens, the benefit of that is going to way overcome. We're talking about like 95% profit margins. I don't know what they're going to charge, $100 a month, maybe more. I'm not sure. But, getting that approved from a regulatory perspective is going to be a boon for Tesla, not to mention all their other projects and the robo-taxi and things like that. Look at the macro. It looks like we are now in correction mode here. Look at QQQ. You got to worry about, well, did we get to this gap fill up here? Let's see where that is. 506.41. We're below that level. So now you got to worry about this level right here, which by the time it gets there, maybe it might coincide with 20 DMA. SPY looks very similar. So SPY and QQQ basically mirroring each other with those levels to look at. And IWM, below this level right here, very important, 232, could make it back to that 227 breakout or so, 228 breakout or so.
Good morning, story traders. It's Monday, November 18th. Good morning, Rhett. Hope you had
Morning,
a
Ben.
Friday was actually awesome for us. RCAT was our, I think it was like one of maybe two or three only stocks we focused on. Did really well on Friday, and we called that. We avoided the market because we predicted, as you just saw, that move down in QQQ and SPY and IWM. So that worked out pretty good. So today, let's see what we got on tap. First of all, man, a little bit of a missed opportunity. We alerted our Discord on GLD Friday. This looks pretty bad, right? That daily moving average, the daily candles. But look at that low RSI here. We switched to the weekly. We said, wow, look at this long-term bull trend line, that 20-week moving average. I alerted this in the Discord Friday. And I'm like, this looks great for an opportunity here on gold. But I'm like, I don't know what catalyst is going to spark that. I didn't take it. But what catalyst? I think it was this escalation in Russia and Ukraine over the weekend is giving gold a little bit of a bounce here, up 1.6%. Man, the call options I was looking at, which it didn't take on Friday, are probably set to open up 300% or so, maybe more. So a little bit of a missed opportunity. As I said in the Discord, sometimes you got to take a trade when it's a really good technical setup. You know, we're story traders here. So we look for the catalyst, sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. We like everything to be aligned. I usually don't do anything purely just on technicals, but maybe once in a while with a really oversold position and, might be worth it. So gave that idea. I personally didn't take it. Maybe someone from our Discord did. So congrats if you did take that. Further here in the macro, one thing I want to draw attention to is how XBI has just been slaughtered since the RFK announcement, which really shouldn't have been a surprise. So, this is actually the reaction we're getting after the election. QQQ, SPY. Look at this. Look at this. These moves down in QQQ, SPY, IWM, XBI. I was worried about this if Trump would win. Remember that? I said, be careful. Don't assume a melt up if Trump wins, because they want to cut, right? They want to cut $2 trillion in the federal government. They want to get tough on Big Pharma with RFK. I believed all that. The market didn't. I don't know. They're only believing it now that they're actually appointing Elon Musk and they're appointing RFK Jr., or at least nominating them for these positions. So interesting to see this delayed reaction. It's understandable, albeit it's on a delay. So Big Pharma getting a hit. Now, yesterday, RFK Jr. was on the plane on Trump Force One eating some McDonald's. So had a little bit of a concerned look on his face. But, people looked at that image and said, oh, maybe it's not going to be as bad as we thought, right? So in addition to the biotechs getting killed, junk food companies like Celsius and Pepsi, they were also getting killed. I'm not ready to buy this. I got into some Celsius Friday on some blog report of an activist wanting to get involved, but I quickly got out this morning after considering further the impact of RFK Jr., because I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. Let's go back to the macro and XBI here. I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that they would do like some sort of tax on sugary drinks. Okay. And I think that's why even though it doesn't talk about sugary drinks that much, is more about ultra processed foods. But look at Pepsi just getting killed on Friday. I'm sure that's what it was related to. And the move down Celsius also related to Pepsi. Did we put the link in the, I think people in our Discord are missing the link. All right.
Let me put that now.
Yeah. Okay. Coming in.
Oh.
Sorry, Ken. All right. Let's get that link in before we continue to our Discord. 1 second, guys.
All right. Boom.
Okay. Just make sure to tag everyone also.
Yep, that's what I'm doing now. Just want to put it out there.
Okay. All right. So we continue. Sorry about that. Forgot to drop the link into the Discord. We just went through the macro discussion. You didn't miss too much, guys. All right. We're heading over into our individual stock picks right now. ER-wise, nothing for today. Tomorrow we have AT&T, Low, and where's the other one? Walmart. It's Walmart, right? I had Walmart here.
Yep. Walmart.
I added Walmart to my list. Let's make sure Walmart's added to our list here. Walmart will go add it to our ER list. Okay. So nothing though reporting today. These are all reporting tomorrow. Walmart, AT&T, low. I'm not playing any of these. Okay, but they're on our radar. Okay, so moving over to our top picks. Wow, Tesla. Did we ever call this, right? We played that video for you on Friday. What a timely video where we're like, this 7,500 EV credit loss doesn't mean anything. That was baked in. That's why we got this big red candle on Thursday. So Friday, we're like, the price targets are the same. Nothing changes. We have all the same price targets on Tesla. We still think we're going to all-time new highs on Tesla. All-time new highs on Tesla by January inauguration time, plus or minus 2 weeks. Very high chance, though. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens well before inauguration time, right? The next key levels on Tesla is 360, previous high there. There was also a technical resistance, 385 right up there, 384, and then 415. 360, 385, 415. Those are the levels. There's some support here at 340, I believe here it was in pre-market. Let's see. Well, it dipped a little bit below that. 335 is another key level. Okay, so 335, 340, some support levels on Tesla. 335 and 340, then 360, 384, and 415 to the upside. My timeline is, like third week of January, something like that, maybe first week of February. When we saw in 2016, when Trump won, the immigration stocks, GEO and CXW, they peaked out about 2 weeks after inauguration. They tripled in November, December, January. They tripled in 4 months, I guess, since the election, after the 2016 election. I'm using that as a guideline, like kind of worst case scenario. We can see Tesla reach those all-time new highs by that kind of same time frame, plus or minus a couple weeks from the inauguration. But given the news that's happened, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens anytime. It can happen anytime. This thing, as I've been saying, and I've not wavered on this at all, when you see those images of Trump and Elon Musk together everywhere, and before the news came out, by the way, yesterday about these, the FSD policy paving the way for FSD, I was already in the Discord saying it looks like it's going to be a good week for Tesla. First of all, you had the green candle yesterday, but then you had Elon Musk again everywhere, visibly with Trump at that UFC fight. People see that. This imagery is strong. And I keep on making the case that world funds from around the world, institutions from around the world, they don't need to get into the details. They're smart, man. They like a lot of like, and he blocked me, but I'm like, you can't lose the forest for the trees, right? The politics of this is so much more impactful and important than what the EPS might be quarter to quarter or even in the next year. Okay. And people understand that. Institutions understand that. Institutions around the world understand that America's, the strongest country in the world. And Elon Musk, I keep saying this, is the second most powerful person in the world right now. People get that. And I think there's going to be continued mad dash by institutions to buy Tesla up. I think they're underweight. And I'm looking for all-time new highs, definitely in 2025. But again, because of this mad dash, people wanting to buy Tesla, I would not be surprised if it happens this week. Okay, everything's on the table in terms of Tesla, in terms of how quickly this re-rating can happen. So on Friday, we told you this EV credit doesn't matter. It's all about FSD. Then yesterday, what do we get? We get that report, I think it was from Bloomberg, that says Trump administration is looking to accelerate the pathway to get FSD nationally on the roadways. So that's Tesla. That's why it's up 6%. I added actually more to my long-term account this morning. As far as a day trade or whatever, we're going to be trading this in our Discord. All right. So if you want some guidance on that, storytrading.com/Discord, and you can join us in terms of trading Tesla throughout the day. But let's go through the show here. We'll see, given where the prices are right now, it might not even be the top 1 or 2 pick. We'll see. All right. There's other stuff going on. All right. Bitcoin last night was up again, back over 90,000. So I had ARKK here because ARKK, very influenced by Hood and Coin, which is influenced by Bitcoin and Tesla, right? Tesla, Hood, and Coin. We've been talking about ARKK. Here we go. We've been talking about ARKK with a target of 60. Now we're going to say it dropped a little bit. 64 to 72 target. And we're saying the way it gets there is mostly through Tesla getting through to all-time highs, but Bitcoin also helps. All right. So we'll have ARKK up there on our radar. Let's keep going down though. DXYZ, Elon Musk was talking up Starlink, what's it called now? SpaceX all weekend. And we got another Starship launch tomorrow, I believe, around 4 p.m. So that stuff is good for DXYZ. And you had a new funding round raising the valuation of Star. Something wrong with me.
SpaceX?
SpaceX to what? What's the new valuation? 250 or 300 billion?
Oh, I have no idea. Wouldn't be able to tell you on that one.
I think it was raised from 200 to 250 billion in the latest round. This is still very overvalued here at these prices, but I didn't take it this morning. Should have taken it Friday when someone on the show mentioned, hey, is it time to get into DXYZ? The catalysts were there. I just shy away from it because I think this is probably worth not more than the low 20s. I'm like, I was waiting for that, but we didn't get it. All right. We didn't get the low 20s, but I think that's where I'd more likely want to step in.
255 billion.
There we go. All right. RCAT, this is I believe it was a top pick on Friday, and RCAT, look at that big move on Friday. So we were sitting pretty Friday in our trading account compared to how everyone else was doing in the market. But RCAT up another 8.5% here. We're looking for maybe game-changing news tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe today after the close, very soon. We're looking for game-changing news on RCAT. So if you've been in our Discord, you're banking on RCAT. This is going to continue to be a top 5 pick for it today. And if you want to trade that with us, head on over to our Discord. We got a swing target of $7.75 on RCAT. All right. A little bit of news out here. Energy Secretary, I forget his name, nominated by Trump, is the CEO of Liberty Energy, LBRT, also board member of OKLO. And OKLO has taken a hit. Look at this hit the OKLO took on Friday. And uranium was up also. Nuclear sector was up on Friday, but OKLO took a hit. Now you have this catalyst. So I want to submit the possibility that OKLO can bounce here with that new catalyst of the board member of OKLO being energy secretary, at least nominated for that. So OKLO's a pick to think about. EBS, here's another one. So vaccine stocks gotten killed, right? Because of RFK Jr. Look at these candles down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. But yesterday we had monkeypox case, a new strain, some severe case of monkeypox in the States. Let's switch to the monkeypox list for a second. SIGA was up a lot more earlier this morning, now only up 1.7%. EBS, I took a small position as a trade. I thought it was worth it. Looking for a little bit of a bounce. Not a big position. Just a small position on this monkeypox news and maybe a little bit of a bounce from the RFK sell-off, vaccine sell-off. So that's EBS. Dell, though. All right, let's move Dell up here closer to the top. Dell, 2 bits of news on Dell. One is they released, Michael Dell put it on his Twitter. Probably there's a PR on it now, but ready to be shipped, or the first one was shipped yesterday, something to that nature. NVIDIA has earnings this week, so there's a lot of focus now on Dell. Dell has been taking business away from SMCI. You can see how Dell's been performing since the last earnings report. Look at this move over here from like 110 to 130. This, movement from SMCI to Dell, very, very powerful, very important. Good, good fundamentals, good valuation on Dell. I added Dell this morning to my long-term account. It's up 2.5% today. Would not be surprised that this could be a good day trade today as well. Dell, what's this candle over here at 133.97? We're above it now. We're a little above 134. Could we make a move to the 138, 140 to 141 range? Possibly. Dell is in play for a day trade. All right, let's move on back down and see what else we got going on here. So RCAT, OKLO. Oh, this one, I don't know much about it. It's a very small size. It's a biotech phase 1. Apparently, the data was really, really good. I see a lot of smart people talking about NTLA this morning. Short position, pretty high. The stock has been absolutely clobbered. So I don't know much about it, but I like this. I like the stock's been clobbered. Apparently, they're flush with cash. They don't need an offering, apparently, from people I follow on Twitter who know it well. Okay, so NTLA took a small position in NTLA this morning. All right. Then we have over here Melli. Why do I have Melli? Let's move on to our Argentina list. Argentina, we made this watch list after Milei, I guess is his name. He won election over there, trying to go from socialist country to a capitalist country. And it was probably around here. It's probably over November time. Was it a year ago that we added this to our watch list? I guess it was before your time, Brett. So
yeah,
they've had
before.
this, Argentina list for quite some time. Look how well this ETF for Argentina has done since. Now, this yesterday, I believe it was, JP Morgan raised the GDP forecast by a few percentage points for Argentina. All right, so their government spending cuts are working there. The tax cuts are working there. This may be a harbinger of what can happen in America, right? With less regulations and tax cuts and spending cuts. Look what happened in Argentina. Maybe that's a good harbinger for the United States. But I was looking at the biggest portion of the biggest component of our ARGT is MELI, Mercado Libre, all right? And that's been down, taking a hit the last few days, had a big hit on Thursday. I wasn't following closely. I don't know what the catalyst was for that, but I thought maybe MELI could be a possible trade for today. Big spreads here. Actually added I always like this. I had some MELI in my retirement account, within the past year, but I didn't stick with it. So I'm like, this is a good opportunity to get back in MELI after this. So I added MELI to my retirement account today. Possibly could work as a day trade today as well. Let's go on, keep going down. It's 9:17, but I have a few more things I want to go through. All right. Let's move on to Capper. This is a Godfather stock. All right. This one was one of the ones that worked for us on Thursday and Friday after ER. They got a bunch of upgrades this morning. Potential move to the 20 DMA today, 1975. Geo has been, look at that chart on Geo. Oh my gosh. I switched. Not that I switched, but for my immigration play, CXW has not been working as well. So I started moving into Geo. You can see, look at the difference here. Let's throw this to the top. So look at Geo. These are going opposite directions. So I'm in heavy actually on Geo now. $30 January calls. Looking maybe for another. This thing tripled back like $45, right? If it does the same thing in 2016. Looking at the chart, let's see what we got on Geo. We're looking to break 31.03 shortly. So Geo looking good. I think this might be a top 5 pick like pretty much every day. So, all right, that's Geo. Moving back down, let's make sure we have RCAT at the top. Okay, I want to cover now. We started a new program here. Let me share my screen for a second. Hold on a second. Let me see if this works. Does this work? It does. All right. So here's our Discord. We opened a new channel here. It is the wheel. Okay, the wheel put selling. You can see on the right-hand side here. We have 3 trades we already put on. We sold HIMS, Root, and ASTS, cash secured puts. Okay, and got a spreadsheet here that we work on with our Discord members. So this is freaking awesome. We made good money Friday selling cash secured puts, right? Looking for 80% annualized yields on the trades we take, like 50 to 80% annualized yields. And those premiums evaporate really quickly the way we do that because we're choosing things with positive catalysts that can inflect to the upside. So your put premiums can evaporate quickly, and then you can reinvest that cash. You can close out those short put positions and reinvest that cash by shorting something else, shorting another put. So that's something we started Friday. Very excited about it. And we're going to continue that conversation today. Look at Root. What a beautiful day on Friday. We sold puts on that. Also, we have long position in this. HIMS, we got the bottom, I think, hopefully, on that. But even if we didn't, doesn't matter. We sold puts to give us an entry of like $16 at the 200 DMA there. So that's beautiful. ASTS, very volatile. We'll see. This one, we took less risk in terms of that. All right, IMRX, still a swing position. You know the thesis. If you're a story trading member, we're looking for some news on that soon. All right, so let me see if I can roughly order this right, and then we'll get your opinion on this. So RCAT's definitely got to be up there. The Geo chart I just love. It's incredible. Tesla has got to be up there for opportunities, maybe to trade it, buy dips. So we got Tesla, RCAT, Geo, Dell. That news really looks good. Very solid news, and a week that NVIDIA is reporting, so more attention into AI names. That might be good for Dell. You can always trade ARK as a proxy for Tesla and or Bitcoin, so that's something to watch. Then we have, I'm not going to do DXYZ, even though it could explode. It's just too rich for me valuation-wise. I just monitor this to see if it gets into a price range I like, but we got the news on DXYZ. I would not be surprised at all if DXYZ explodes into tomorrow afternoon because of these what's it called? Starship launch. All right. Got the
Yep.
Starship launch tomorrow. So DXYZ could explode into tomorrow. It's just too expensive for me. Maybe I'll take very small size trades if I see opportunities in that. All right. Then we have these small trades in OKLO, EBS, and NTLA. So let me just throw these three at the top as well. And then we'll see where that leaves us. And by the way, Root is insane. Look at that beautiful breakout. Root is heading over $100, I believe. I'm going to throw Root up there. Added heavily to this common shares on Friday. All right. So now what do we got here? All right. We got RCAT and Tesla and Dell. All right. We got Root and then the Geo we're going to throw up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we're going to leave these as secondary picks, OKLO, EBS, and NTLA. And we'll throw this up there. All right. DXYZ a little bit higher. All right. So this is not yet in order, Rhett. I think these are good for the top 5. But what do you like the best out of RCAT, Tesla, Dell, Geo, and Root? I like those for top 5. Which one do you like best and why?
Oof. Looking at the chart right now, I really like Dell, to be honest. You have a key level right here at 134.13 that I'm looking at, and if we open above that in pre-market, we could get a next move to 137. So nice little move there. So that's what I was looking at on the daily chart. So that's just my thoughts compared to the other ones looking at the charts. Tesla too, but the move on Tesla has already happened. That's a huge move. I wouldn't be surprised if it moves more, but maybe
It's going to move more.
Pullback. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, a move, not the move. I would say a move in Tesla's already happened. I don't think the moves in Tesla's already happened. I really think this is still just the beginning. It's just a matter of the exact timing, right? Do we hit those next levels? 360, 384, 414. Do we hit it this week? Is it next week? Is it early January? But the demand's there. The dips are going to be bought. So I don't think it's the move, but definitely a move. All right. So Tesla, Dell, what else? Any thoughts on Geo, Root, and RCAT?
RCAT, yeah, I still think the hype and everything's going to be there with that because of their that's coming out on Tuesday, their PR release. So,
okay, so RCAT still going to be a top pick today as people buy into event anticipation runs. That's what we call it. So event anticipation run to continue on RCAT, dips to be bought in Tesla. Dell with some good news. Nice pre-market chart. You know what? Okay, I don't know how to order these actually. Geo and then Root. So let me see which. All right, I gotta pick one here as top pick of the day. You like Dell? You know what? I'm gonna stick with RCAT for the percentage move on common shares. Right. We're gonna open up high here near 510. I still think the open to close percentage for common shares could be higher in RCAT than Dell. It's a smaller cap, so you never know. It could be up 15, 20, 25% today. Not out of the realm of possibility. All right. Dell looking great. Look at you. Look at that, Rhett.
Yeah, beautiful looking chart right there.
Dell might be good for some call options as well here. Maybe we'll follow you if you have a call option idea on Dell at the open. Look what's going on right before the open there. We'll throw Tesla number 3. Look at Dell. Look at it go. Boom. You got that instinct, Rhett. I think that's a good harbinger for today. What's going on here right before the open. And I'm going to stick with Geo and Root to round it out 4 and 5. And then we got these ancillary plays, small positions, speculative in OKLO, EBS, and NTLA. So RCAT, Dell, Tesla, Geo, and Root. Top 5 secondary picks, OKLO, EBS, NTLA. Rhett, you got any specials for everyone to join us on Discord?
Yeah, they can use code PROFITS for $9.99 for the first month. I think I may have a banner on there for it. Let's check it out and see.
Code PROFITS. So head on over to storytrading.com/Discord. It's just $2 a day. And then in addition to that low price, it's just $9.99 for the first month with code PROFITS. All right. So we'll see you there. We got a bunch of people joining. Our Discord community is growing really fast. All right. So happy to see you there. We're going to collaborate there. We'll probably jump on live stream trading as well this morning. And with that, have a great day. Good luck, everyone.